Well, hey everybody, just wanted to fire up the live stream and say I'm done. Hooray! This is a thing of beauty. I'm particularly proud of this. I mean, there's certainly nothing original about this design. It's based off the English Nicholson design, but all done using construction lumber. Very little planing involved here, very even little rip sawing to be done. I just used the 2x12s as they came from the store. Got all my dog holes put in place. I added a planing stop on the end out of teak because, why not? I just happen to have some thinly sliced teak lying around, so just need to flush up those dowels, but it slides in and out. I've got blocking put underneath the bench. This is just some leftover 4x4, but the rest of the bench has got offcuts from the 2x12s glued underneath. So literally all the parts of the buffalo were used in this bench. Everything went into it in the end just to add some thickness to the apron, add some thickness to the top. Everywhere I've got a dog hole board, I have really a 3-inch thick top with 2 of the 2x construction pieces put together. Same thing on the apron. Although there's a couple spots like right here where it's just drilled right through the 2x material and the hold fast holds fine. There's no vices on this. It seems to be the very in vogue thing, but I'm really loving the center notch with the planing beam that runs down the middle. Right now, it's got, well, let me lift it up. It's got this stair-step design in it. So if you set it in this notch, it's flush with the top. If you move it to the left to this notch, the whole thing sits at a 1/2 inch above the surface. So I can take, 4/4, even 3/4 inch material and work across without hitting the planing beam. If I slide it over to this notch, it sets at like 1.5 inches high. It's a little hard to do with one hand, but that 1.5 inch high means that I can take an 8/4 board or 12/4 board or whatever and get really good support there as well. It's a pretty handy thing, especially when you combine it with this planing stop. You're working into an inside corner and you can traverse, go diagonally, go with the grain all at the same time. Pretty cool. This actually is just in dog holes. It'll slide up and down. It's really tight right now because it was just made. I have a feeling it'll loosen up. That's what my planing stop at home has done. But right now, I actually could tap it up with a mallet and raise the height. Once it gets loose, it'll be a matter of like sticking a block under to shim it. But rarely, this is about 3/16 of an inch thick. Rarely do I need to raise and lower it. I just need a little bit of support there and I can do all of my planing right against it. If I want to maybe saw, I can set things on a peg and use a hold fast to hold it straight upright and saw it. You can also clamp it to the leg if you want. You can lean it forward against a dog and create an angle for sawing a tendon or something like that. It's an incredibly functional bench. It's probably about 150 pounds or so, so it's really, really sturdy. Pretty proud of it. Took, I don't know how long to make. Took a lot longer to make because I was filming the whole thing and because I was here on vacation with friends and family, so it actually took 2 trips up to Maine to finish it. But I built it entirely in this very sparse shop with very few tools, really. I used a jack plane. It's in my plane sock here. I didn't even use this back saw. I did everything with this hardware store saw, typical Home Depot square, a single 1.5 inch chisel and some brace and bits. 1 inch, 3/4, 3/8, and 1/2 inch auger bits did all the work on this. Everything else was done with construction lumber, 4x4s for the legs and stretchers. The cross braces, you can see they're let in with half laps in the front here. So I've got bracing at 3 points along the bench top, and they are screwed in place with carriage bolts. It's filled in with sawdust right now, but there's a carriage bolt under there. Carriage bolts on the legs itself. So essentially the bench is knocked down. I could take those bolts out and take the apron and the tops off. The leg, like H-frames, are drawboard together. So those are not coming apart, but they're rock solid. So you could knock the whole thing down and set it against the wall if you want. So that is my workbench. This is going to be part of semester 0.5. I'm calling it the prequel semester. This is really picking up where I left off, or not where I left off, where I kind of glossed over in semester 1. Maybe I assumed too much. So there's going to be some lessons on like the very first time you used a plane, first time you used a saw,
and we're going to build some basic projects, this Workbench being one of them, and a few other Workbench aids after that. So I'll be filming that entirely up here in this shop, the idea of using like 3 tools to make all of this. So it won't be out until late August of this year, because I've got to come back again in early August to finish filming everything, because I'm heading back to Maryland tomorrow. But coming soon, coming soon.
A whole new semester for the hand tool school. So that's it for me, guys. Signing off from Maine.